tens of thousands of visitors in Milwaukee right now for all the speeches, rallying, and excitement leading up to an address from President Trump tomorrow. With us right now is someone who knows the area well and the convention hoopla as well, Scott Walker. He was a two-term Wisconsin governor and also ran for the Republican presidential nomination in 2016. I think I interviewed you back then 8 years ago. Nice to see you.
Good to be with you.
So what are you hoping to hear from J.D. Vance's speech tonight? And also, how do you think he's going to be stacking up against Vice President Kamala Harris? We're learning this morning that they're nailing down details for debate logistics.
Oh, I look forward to that debate. I mean, I think I've helped the former vice president prepare for debates in the past. I'd love to be part of this as well because Kamala Harris, I don't know how she defends her number one objective, which was to be the border czar when we have a full-scale invasion there. But more than that, I hope we hear tonight from J.D. Vance a little bit more about his personal story. I know it, but I don't think many Americans do, although some that have read his book, and certainly those, we saw about 1,000% increase in his Netflix story that's an adaptation of that book. You know, this is a guy whose family, like so many families across America, dealt with drug addiction and abject poverty. Those are the kind of families that Donald Trump, I think, talks repeatedly about standing up for the forgotten men and women here in Wisconsin and in key states all across this nation. He's a fighter. And I think connecting the dots between J.D.'s family and families like his and someone like Donald Trump looking out for him when nobody else in Washington seems to be doing so is a powerful connection.
Yeah, a lot of people said that that hillbilly elegy really kind of highlighted how a lot of disenchanted folks in the Rust Belt have decided to move to Donald Trump's Republican Party. Project 2025 has given Democrats and liberal-leaning media outlets a whole lot of talking points to fire up their base, right? President Trump, though, he's distanced himself, says he isn't exactly for this agenda and some of its goals. But do you think Project 2025 is still going to be an ongoing issue for the party? We've been hearing a lot about it.
No, this is because Joe Biden bombed at the debate. He was so miserable that so many people of his own party have publicly elected officials. Think about this. An incumbent going into a convention has got elected Democrats in the Congress calling for him to step down. It is unprecedented. And so they're looking desperately for anything to distract from that. The platform of Donald Trump is the platform we passed earlier this week here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It talks about making life more affordable when prices have gone up 20% in places like Wisconsin. It talks about securing the border once and for all so we don't have fentanyl coming up, killing our kids in states like the one I'm in right now. And it talks about making our big cities like Milwaukee and others across the country more safe and secure again as well. And so people, I encourage you, go to the party platform, look at what was passed. This is what Donald Trump specifically asked for. Don't buy into all the nonsense about this, that, and whatever that isn't coming from him personally. Look at the things that he's laying out, and you'll hear from J.D. Vance about tonight as well.
Governor Walker, I'm so glad that our bookers were able to get you today because you have such a unique perspective. How do you think Wisconsin's going to go?
Well, I think it's going to be incredibly close. You know, even though the debate performance, as I mentioned, was so bad for Joe Biden, this is still a battleground state. The last two presidential elections in this state have been decided by less than 25,000 votes out of nearly 6 million people. Certainly the money advantage is on the Biden-Harris side. They have a huge financial advantage. They've got campaign offices open at much higher scale. On the flip side, we see it in the polls. The enthusiasm advantage is for Donald Trump and now J.D. Vance. And so Republicans like myself, who are part of helping the former president's efforts, have to use that and tie that together. Number one issue in the state by far is the economy. Even with young people, I work with Young America's Foundation. In our poll of college students, it is by far the number one issue. If this ticket can connect with not only young people, but all the voters in Wisconsin and the other battleground states, particularly on the economy, they can win.
Former Governor Scott Walker, thanks so much. This is your Super Bowl. Enjoy it while you're there.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.